We had just had sex the night before, so we laying in the bed naked, and I wake up to him smushing my head in the pillow, like, what the fuck you doing in Vibe magazine? I'm like, what? I'm in Vibe magazine, like, what? He was like, yeah, Nelly just called. You know, Diddy's on the cover on the boxing gym, you know what I mean? Gloves or whatever. We open up, flip through it, and there I am. That picture that you see, big as day. I had no idea. That picture was taken in 2004. They didn't run a story to 2006. And then I found out later, another reason why they put me in the Vibe magazine is so all the guys who wanted extras would know who to look for at the parties and to laugh at me because they took advantage of me after they drugged me and I was unconscious. The Fed said, well, allegedly, I'm not going to say, someone said that when they did the raid, I'm on them tapes and there's multiple A-list celebrities running a train on me, including certain people that are presidential. No, we're not talking about, we're talking about Diddy. We're going to come back to that, LB. Stay with me. We don't go any further till we get the result.
Man.
Hey, but anyway, once I found that out, I've been living my life for the last 20 years not knowing that had even happened to me. And now because they found out that I know that I'm on them tapes with them doing that to me, these are people that have smiled in my face since then. I had no idea that. But if there's a certain way the tape is going to come out and there's a certain way that it never will. You got to stay tuned. It haunts me the same way Diddy haunts me to this day. I can still remember the way I felt, how my parents looked at me, you know, and then, so when Anthony got the opportunity to move to New York, I was like, man, hell yeah, because I did the movies in 99, but they didn't find out until 2004. And that was the same time Anthony got asked to move to New York. So I said, man, I'm going with you. And then when we got out there, Anthony was going to go see whatever. He ended up getting an audition with Ford models, and then Ford signed him. That was Cassie Ventura's same agency. And so we were from Cali, and we had an apartment in the middle of Manhattan. So all the models in between their go-sees and their auditions would come hang out at our apartment. And we had the weed, and that's when weed was hella illegal. So we was from Cali, we had the weed. Anthony looked good. I was working at Larry Flynt's Hustler Club, so I was already the hottest stripper because Manhattan is only 11 miles, about 13 miles. I'm from Cali, the West Coast. All the East Coast people grew up together. They don't know me and Anthony like that, so they're intrigued. I look good, he look good. It's 20 years earlier. I'm 46 right now. I'll be 47 in January. So imagine me in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? Body was extra banging, and even now, everything's real, butt real, lips real, nose real. I've never had a million behind me, so just imagine that. Anthony is signed to Ford Models. Cassie is coming over to our apartment, hanging out. We're all friends. Yeah, she would come over our apartment too, because her and Anthony were both signed to Ford Models. We were convenient right there in the middle of the city. So in between your auditions, your casting, you would come smoke weed and hang out at the bomb couple from the West Coast. So when we got there, we all had our own fantasy. When me and Anthony got there, we had our own vision of what we would do if we ever met these certain people, Jay-Z, Diddy, and all that. And then Cassie did too. Her and Anthony were inspiring models, and Cassie wanted to sing and stuff. Anthony, he just more wanted to model, smoke weed, look good, get his dick sucked type shit. Cassie, she wanted to model, but she wanted to sing. She wanted to be an entertainer. And so we all had dreams to meet Diddy. So then fast forward, Anthony ends up getting called to audition for Diddy for the Sean John campaign. So he never invites me along to his auditions or his go-sees, but this particular day he invited me because he knew I was a fan. Like, he knew I was going to be mad he went to the damn thing and you didn't take me, you know what I mean? Because I wanted to meet people and stuff. I was already a dancer. I was already moving and shaking. I already had a gang of athletes and whatever. But the music industry, because I rap and sing, that's where I wanted to get into. So, long story short, we sitting in the waiting room, and one of his homeboys that frequents our apartment comes out of the thing, and he's looking mellow mad, like, shh. And so, low-key, me and Anthony laughing. We like, he must not have booked it. Like, he's salty. Like, we laughing to each other, like, you know. And then they called him. And then when they called him, I'm like, yeah, you got this, my nigga. Like, you know, I'm dapping on you. Got this. And then that's when two-way pages was out. So when they called, I flipped my two-way up. So I'm on my two-way lining up some money for later on. All of a sudden, I just hear, man, fuck that. And the door that flew up, and it was, I'm like, what? And like Anthony is a very good looking guy. His mother is, African American black lady, and his father is an Italian man. And actually, the wine, Gallo wine, that's his family. And allegedly, his dad got like basically shunned from his family for choosing up on a black woman. And he went on to have a few kids, and all of them are boys, and they're all very good looking guys. But his dad chose to be poor to follow his heart and be with a black woman. And so allegedly, his dad still to this day rides a bike in Northern California. He's from Northern California. He had moved down to LA. And so even though he was a good looking guy mixed with black and Italian, he wasn't no punk. Like, it wasn't no gay in him. It wasn't no, bitch in him. Like, he like a thug, but he a pretty boy. So like, I guess they underestimated him, thinking that because he was so good looking that he go that way. So he was more than offended. He was on some gangster shit. Like, he got me fucked up. So when we were in the elevator, I was like, "Man, what happened?" He was like, "Man," like, he gave me that look like, "Man, shut the." And I was like, "All right," because there was people in the elevator. So I was like, "All right, all right." So when we got, out the elevator, I'm like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Why you tripping?" He was like, "Man, nigga asked me to suck his dick." I said, "Who asked you to suck his dick?" He said, "Puffy." We was calling Puffy back then. Puff. And I said, "No, he didn't." And it broke my heart, broke her arm. And I was like, "Nah." And he was like, he asked me to suck his dick. I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Well then, I see why, you know what I mean? For sure. Like, it's a wrap." That he's like, "I don't need that job. That's fucking bad." So I was like, "For sure." You know what I mean? We got in the cab, we went back to our apartment. His homeboy ended up coming through, we smoked blunts, we laughed at it. We was like, that, you know what I mean? But then because I was a dancer, I'm also in the regular go-go club scene, and I ran into Tamiko Thomas, who ended up being, I call her a handler, one of Diddy's handlers, wranglers, and she approached me with opportunity to help me and Anthony out. If I would dance at Diddy's white parties, Anthony can go ahead and book the campaign. I agreed to dance at the white parties. Anthony booked the Sean John campaign. He was everywhere. He was on billboards, buses, bus stops, cabs, in the magazine, all at the same damn time. He was everywhere. But right now, if you go and try to Google any one picture of that Sean John campaign, Diddy done scrubbed it all. I can't even hardly find a picture. He got me to do their movies, and then when Diddy found out about it, they used that against me, and then he viewed me as somebody that was sexually exploited, worthy, and yeah. And he played on my heart. It's called Coercion of the Heart. When I told him that I rap and I sang, and he said I was dope, and he said he was gonna bring me and I had a girl group out, like I'm the Beyonce of my group. They even told you that I was the dopest one, and it's called Coercion of the Heart. And he played on the fact that he knew I liked to rap, sing, and perform. And that's why he would bring me back year after year saying, "You're getting closer," like initiation, "You're getting closer." But it never happened. But he kept making me, sexually perform while he was wheeling and dealing. And, getting jewelry from Jacob the jeweler, cutting a deal with this person, recording me and him over there so he can extort that person out of woo-woo. We all didn't know, but he had a plan the whole time. And that's why he made people sign NDAs that said, "You can't talk about what we went through until 20 years after I died." But I never signed that. He wouldn't say, "Go over there so I can get video." He would hire me to work as a go-go dancer. They had 3 stages, positioned throughout his mansion. It was where he lived. It was his residence. It wasn't a club. It wasn't a lounge. And so it just makeshift stages, 3 stages set up in his house, like for us to be checkpoints. Like my stage was over by the bar. Tamiko's stage was over by the food. Old girl's checkpoint was over there by the rooms if you wanted to go do something. So it was like, I think he kind of told the guests, "Hey, if you want to drink, just look for a stage and you're going to find something you need." You know what I mean? So we were elevated above the crowd. And so, but that we were instructed to only drink from certain liquor bottles. It's the girls' champagne, it's the guys' champagne. Girls don't drink the guys' champagne. Girls don't drink the boys' champagne. And all the champagne was laced with ketamine, like horse tranquilizer, ecstasy. That's not allegedly. We were all doped up. And to this day, I believe we all, and I know I do, have a chemical imbalance. Like whenever I drink anything, it could be one glass of wine, all of a sudden I'm a stripper, I'm a P star, like on my mind, I just black out and I'm that. I'm She Diddy.
Oh wow.
You know how Orlando Brown running around like I'm Puff. He not really acting like it to everybody else. Everybody looking like he want attention, like he wilding, like. But it's something about when he drugged you that he stood over you, like infusing himself into you while you laid there unconscious, and it's like it became a part of you. Because after a certain amount, they started calling me She Diddy. They're like, man, she act like Diddy. She just like Diddy. And hence, I've been She Diddy for the last 20 years. So I feel Orlando when he be like, man, I'm Puff. It's nice to meet you, I'm Puff. Because when we get faded, like, it's like he come out in us, like, and that's forever. That's why it's haunting us to this day. Yeah, the reason why he like to take, yeah, we have a chakra in our anus, guys and girls, and your chakra is a pathway to your soul. So because he's working for Lucifer, his goal is to take souls to hell. So that's why straight men, he wanted to turn them gay. You know, even if a gay man was gay, he wanted to make him be a pedophile and be with a minor. His thing was to take the soul. So that's why after a certain amount of time, he would make an announcement like, you better go on home because, the party really about to crack now. And all of a sudden, everybody's demon would come out. And that's on God. Like, have you ever gotten like so faded or drunk where your body is doing stuff, but in the morning you have literally no recollection? Like, if it ain't from your homeboy showing you it, like, man, I recorded you. If it wasn't for him showing you, you would swear up and down you didn't do that shit. But then when he show you the video, you're
Right.
like, what the? I jumped in the pool. I don't even know how to swim, my nigga. What? Like, I don't even remember that. Like, what? It was like, imagine everybody blacked out, though. It doesn't matter if you a celebrity or... That's why J-Lo left the country. He had her sticking bottles and stuff up in my homegirl, and she was only 11 years old. She the girl that they put on the private jet. They her with the jelly beans. They put on the private jet. They took her to the studio in New York and then had the nerve to dress her up in a D&G sweater, do her hair, put makeup on her, and take a picture like a trophy. She only 11 years old in that picture, and that's not allegedly. And then the same girl, man, there's so many. I drop names on the neck, man. We talking about Diddy right now. But yeah. And then that's the same girl that in the magazine is laying on the table butt naked with fruit and food and stuff off of her. And we all eating off of her. I sucked the strawberry off her teeth. She 14 years old laying on that table. She had a body like a grown woman. You don't think anybody's looking at that thinking that's a kid laying there. You're assuming it's a grown woman. So he made everybody be with a minor, against your will, and he recording the shit. Same girl needed to do a number 2 on stage. She performing. She told him, I need to go off stage. I need you to bathroom. He told her no. She ended up shit on stage. It was a wet. Went everywhere. And Denzel Washington grabbed up his wife, mobbed up to Diddy, and was like, man, you don't respect nobody. Had to run up out there. That's the incident they're talking about with Denzel Washington had to run up out of there.
So that's why Denzel and his wife left that party because of that
Because
instance.
she
Right?
shit on stage, and she was only 14 years. He didn't know she was 14. It was just the fact that she shit on stage and in front of everybody. And then Diddy took her to a room and beat her ass because she shit on stage. Then he would only give her water baths and not let her wash with soap. I'm gonna say allegedly because she's still Jane Doe right now. I'm gonna say allegedly. You know what I mean? It's allegedly. But she wants a DNA on 2 of his kids because they took 2 babies out of her. They kept her locked up and they had her babies at the house. The 2 babies they took out of her stomach. That's not allegedly.
Damn.
And allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, she had a 3 with Diddy and his own mama / auntie. And she had a 3 with Nelly and Diddy. That's not alleged.
No.
Allegedly. Sorry, Ashanti. I love you, Ashanti. Congratulations on the birthday. I love y'all together. It was 20 years ago. Don't get mad at 20. We talking about 20 years ago. Don't get emotional. We just telling our truth. People, please. Don't get mad. It's some of y'all's favorites. It's going to devastate y'all when you hear the names involved because we all grew up on these people. We all love these people. We'd have never thought these people would have been involved in the things that they're involved in. We're just telling our truths, everybody. And it was 20 years ago. So please don't judge us or say we lying. We're being nice enough to let y'all know what's going on from an insider point of view. If you were not even there, don't tell somebody they lying when you weren't even there.
Jennifer Lopez, often referred to as J-Lo, is a multifaceted entertainer known for her prowess in music, film, and dance. With a career spanning over 3 decades, she has been a constant presence in the entertainment industry, admired for her talent, work ethic, and business acumen. However, recent allegations have unexpectedly linked her to the darker side of Hollywood, suggesting a narrative far removed from her public persona. The allegations involving Jennifer Lopez stem from claims that she was present during an incident where minors were allegedly assaulted at a party hosted by Sean "Diddy" Combs. While Diddy has often been at the center of various controversies, the inclusion of Lopez in these allegations has shocked many, given her reputation for being a role model, especially for young women and Latinas in the industry. The narrative that has emerged paints a disturbing picture. According to the claims, at one of Diddy's notorious parties, attended by a mix of celebrities, business moguls, and other influential figures, the environment allegedly allowed for the assault of young girls. The implication of Lopez suggests that she was not just an attendee, but potentially complicit or at least aware of these events. This has led to a significant public outcry, as it challenges the image of Lopez as a protective figure who has always been vocal about her love for her children and her advocacy for women's rights. The entertainment industry, with its glamorous exterior, often masks a less savory reality where power dynamics can lead to exploitation. The involvement of someone like Lopez in such an environment raises questions about the awareness and actions of those who hold significant influence. It's a stark reminder that fame and fortune do not always correlate with ethical behavior, and that the responsibility to ensure safety and consent at private and public events falls heavily on those who host them.